Hello, welcome. Sorry, sorry I delayed it a bit. I had some issues getting MSI to work. I've got the latest version now, but some of the stats, I think switching from my AMD card, I have to sometimes mess around with the stats a bit, and I just couldn't get it working. But I think it's all good now. Gonna try some Red Dead Redemption 2 on the 4060 Ti, 1080p. Thought it'd be good to try it. We did the 7600 the other day, so. Thought it'd be cool to take a look. I think most of the settings should be the same as what it was last time we played. VSync off. Pretty much have everything maxed out. Apart from, I think we left that on high. That on high. I think we're pretty much maxed. Dukesco, hello. Best open what? Yeah, I don't think I disagree with that. Right, let's hope MSI works. I think we're right. I think we've got all the stats I normally have in there. Anything that I'm missing? I think that's roughly what we normally have. So let's have a look. I think we had about 65 to about 80, didn't we, with the 7600? So I think it's going to be very similar by the looks of it. Which is actually pretty impressive, considering the 7600, how much cheaper it is. Shadow, hello. New subscriber. You're a new subscriber the other day. Did you keep unsubbing and resubbing? It was you, wasn't it? You said that the other day? Pretty sure. Have a good memory. Look at this, hello. Oh, we still got that bear on there. Hello there. Hello. Yeah, very similar frames, I think. Maybe we get slightly higher, but I think the average, 76, pretty much the same as the 7600. Oh yes, my GPU is very hot, isn't it? Because the fans aren't running. The fans are like not running, hang on. Good job you noticed that. The fans were at 10%. It wasn't on. That'll do it. Didn't even notice. I got the new MSI Afterburner, which it kind of messed with a couple of things, so maybe it messed with that for some reason. That I've put it on auto now, that should bring it down. Still didn't hit that 110 AMD though, even with the fans basically not on. What do we have? 89 degrees on the GPU temperature, I think. Oof. That's tough. So we do... This is the kind of toss-up, really, between this and the 7600. We're doing pretty much the same FPS. Maybe just ever so slightly more. Average-wise. But we're obviously doing it with less power. But this card does cost more. Still a bit stuttery a little bit. Why do I think it's similar? Maybe the cache implementation. Potentially. I would say this probably is slightly better. Like, I think our average is probably... I can't remember exactly what our average was, but we're in the 80s more than I remember the 7600 being. So I would say, side by side, this is maybe a little bit better. I think we even dropped under 60 in some areas. We'll have to keep playing.
Chief's going out trying to find medications. It's quite a business.
Yes. Thought we were through with all of
That's a hot one. Yeah, no, I didn't have the fans weren't running. The fans were at 10%. It wasn't on auto for some reason. That's why it was. Now it's. I could see what it's running at now. The fans now are.
Why would he do such a thing?
65, 70%. But it's quite a small card, so on average it does run quite warm. I can turn the fans up manually, get it below 70, but it's kind of pretty much average for the card, really. This card's actually smaller than the 7600. Only 2 fans on it, so.
He knows I think that. So we're just stuck here trying to make the best of things.
This is the best.
Don't really expect crazy good cooling, really.
Children dying of diseases.
No. This is awful.
Similar cooling to my 30 series Founders Edition cards.
I can show you. Supposed to be heading.
They'd always run quite warm as well. If I left them on auto, the Founders Editions, they would be roughly this, between 70 and 80 sometimes. I remember I think my like 3070 Ti and 3080 Ti can sometimes hit 80 if you leave it on auto. But the cooling's quite bad on those. And obviously there's only 2 fans on that again. With the 3 fan setups on my other 40 series, obviously keep it cool, a lot cooler, but... It's not really much of a big deal. Like, people kind of compare them like for like, but you kind of can't really. They're kind of, you know, they're two. Although they're the same cards, like, you're comparing... If you're comparing, like, a 2-fan card to a 3-fan 49, you know, it's just like 2 different things. Can't really compare those things. Even if you're comparing a 2-fan 4060 Ti to a 3-fan, the temps are going to be different. Obviously, they're going to be better on the 3-fan, but it doesn't mean the temps on this are bad. It's just relative to what the card is, you know? It's like a laptop. Temperatures on that are generally higher if you compare it to a desktop, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're bad because they're relative to the actual hardware you're running it off, you know? You expect laptops to be hotter.
I'm still hoping a meeting can be arranged between Rains Fall and Colonel Favors.
I understand. So I should drop the wagon back at the reservation?
Oh, no. You only need to commandeer the vaccine. Stealing those.
But I would say we haven't had any dips really even close to 60 yet, have we? We'll have to fast travel to the city. Check that out.
He fought for the Union in the war, and his record was considered far
at 1440p. I can't remember what the 3060 Ti gets at 1440p. Does it get about 60? Probably under, with everything maxed.
This is the spot I was thinking of. Let's get up this way.
Sure.
This does stutter a bit though.
Nice vantage point up at the top here.
.3070 is above 70. Yeah, I think a 3060 Ti is probably in and around 60, but it probably, I imagine, dips. Dips under for sure.
Okay, let's dismount here. Best leave the horses back a bit. We'll have a good view over the road from this ledge.
Jesse, hello, Diablo 4. Yes, yeah, I'll be playing it tomorrow because it's like it releases at like midnight here, so I can't play until tomorrow.
Long way from a good man.
So I'll play it. I'll check it out tomorrow.
Favorite kind of work.
Fair enough. In that case,
Can't really be playing it at
we should
midnight.
be great friends.
May I ask you a question?
Of course.
Why don't you just tell all the folk up in Washington what kind of an idiot Colonel Favors is and save us all a lot of bother?
Unfortunately, the government doesn't work quite like that.
If you say so.
There. Think
And that's only early release as well. The actual official release is next week, is it? The 6th?
keep it clean. Understand me?
Don't worry, I'm as clean as they come.
I have the like digital edition, and I think with
I'll meet you back at
the digital edition and the
Try not to get yourself killed, Mr.
whatever the other one is,
Now,
deluxe
I
edition,
can't promise.
I think you get it a week early. I think. What did I have to do? I wasn't listening. We gotta shoot it.
Okay, girl. Yep.
Maybe the memory bus. Yeah, but I've not really had it that bad in other games. I had this game stutter quite badly for me on both the cards. 7600 and this. This is not bad. It doesn't stutter badly. Just every now and then you see it in the frame time. Just randomly. It did it. Do you remember it did it on the 7600, I think, where it was like loading textures in? It did exactly the same thing. Am I using DLSS? No, not at the moment. This is native. I assume I've got to follow this thing. Threaten.
Hold it right there.
Whoa, you better put that down right now. Do you want to get shot? Is that it?
I'm on 12. I'm on DirectX 12, I think. I don't use... Last time I tried to use Vulkan on this game, it completely broke my game and I couldn't play it for like a month until I fixed all the game files. So, I'm not ever since then, I'm not switching that again. Yeah, 12. That, like, honestly, was the biggest nightmare. I couldn't play Red Dead for literally a month. I couldn't test it or anything. I spent weeks going through online trying to fix it. I ended up having to, like, modify... I uninstalled the game, reinstalled the game, like, 10 times. I had to, like, modify all these game files. So I don't know what happened. It maybe, like, corrupted game files or something. I don't know. I was like, I'm not touching that again. Because I can't actually... in all honesty, I can't remember how I fixed it. Because it was a while ago now. I did that when the XTX first came out. And then I couldn't test it on like the 4080 or anything when it came out because it broke my game. Didn't want to buy it again.
Gonna need your cargo, fellas.
Is it better than a 3070? No.
United States Army. That's it. Shoot that bastard already.
But the 16 gig model would maybe be a slight upgrade because of the VRAM. Not in terms of performance, but I mean, I wouldn't go... If you had a 3070... I wouldn't, I wouldn't make... That wouldn't be an upgrade you would make, but if you were deciding between the two, I'd go for the 16 gig version, purely just for the extra VRAM. If you see what I mean. Man, I'm dead. Remedy. Murder? What gives anyone that idea? Oh my goodness, I'm dead, surely. I'm losing so much honor. I'm gonna die here because I've taken an absolute hit on the honor. What are you supposed to do there? I need to listen. I need to listen to what they're saying. Can I see the difference between 2K and 4K? Absolutely, yeah. Did that... Wait. I think I've kept my honor. And I've continued with the mission. You always save it. No, I didn't feel... I was trying to do the mission. I didn't hear... I didn't hear what you had to do for the mission because I was talking. So I followed that car and it took me all the way down there. Boxing King, hello. And I basically ended up in that shootout. Didn't really want.
Okay, my girl.
Batman, yo. Did I see any of the Computex new technology? Is that conference thing? Only thing I saw, if that is what it is I saw the Lian-Li PC cases look quite cool. The new, like, updated version. Didn't see anything else though. Depends on the price. RTX 3070 can be found used for $300. Yeah, but to be honest, I just wouldn't buy an 8 gig card. If you were out to buy a graphics card, like, I just really would not advise buying a used 8 gig card. And I'm talking, and in America, I mean, if you're talking dollars, then it's always going to be cheaper. But if you're buying it from the UK, there's like there really is no point in buying that. Even if you bought a used one in the UK, you've probably got to spend at least $300 to $350, which is probably over $400. You might as well just spend an extra $50 and get a 16 gig card, you know? You don't think it'll change anyone's decision? It will do, because the craziness people are going up on over VRAM, I think that's why they've done it. People are going, like, you know, I see people, the way people talk about VRAM stuff.
I got the medicine.
Like, people will buy that. 100% people will buy that for the VRAM. Because of how much it's been drilled into people, like how badly games, well, how much VRAM games have been using, people will buy that.
We could both swing for this.
Yeah, well, I think I'm a little past caring about hanging. Monroe.
800 for 350. Yeah, but what if you want an Nvidia card? What if you need NVENC or you want DLSS 3 or something?
Of course. Well, I better get to work. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Bandit or not, this was a good thing. Maybe it'll get us both killed, but it had to be done.
I hope so.
3070 is dead at this. Yeah, I personally wouldn't. If you already have one, then fine. But I wouldn't buy that card like at all. There's just so many better options. Like, it still goes brand new for like at least almost £400 in England, 350 to 400. Like, there's absolutely no reason to spend that amount of money on that. Like, it doesn't make any sense to do that.
Yeah. Whoa, whoa.
37.8 dead, it works great. Yeah, no, I'm not saying if you've already got one, then it's fine. But I'm saying to buy it, like, brand new right now doesn't make any sense to do that. Like, if you didn't already own it, it makes no sense to buy one at this point. At least from a UK... In the UK, and I think it's the same in most of Europe, it's extortionately expensive for that. Like, I would not buy that at all. 3070 is 520 euros in exactly, that's my point. Like, there's just like there's no benefit whatsoever of spending that amount of money on that card. Like, you're just like, you know, flushing money down the toilet. Why is my... I'll tell you what I do need to do. I need to get... How far are we out of... We'll go Valentine. You don't need DLSS. I'm talking about DLSS 3, not DLSS 2. As you don't need FSR 2. I'm not talking about 2, I'm talking about 3. But for example, like, in my scenario, if I had to pick between those cards, I'd still want an Nvidia card. Like, streaming off... If I had to stream... If someone came to me and says, which card should I buy, I want to stream, Nvidia, like, all the... You know, every day. Like, every day. Like, yeah, AV1, okay, fine. Eventually, but we're talking, like, if you came to me and said, I want to start streaming tomorrow, like, I would still pick NVENC over that, like, all day long. Like, I just wouldn't ever use the AMD encoder at all. It's not good. Like, 12 months from now, when AV1's a lot better, then fine. Then it bridges the gap. But if you, as of right now, I would still pick that, no question. Like, all day long. Like, if you want the best quality and stuff, you have no choice. Like, it is better. You have no choice. Paramesh, yo! Like, I wouldn't want a 6800 over an Nvidia card if I was streaming. Like, no way. Unless you want you know, unless you don't want, you know, you want a lower quality stream, then fine, that's your choice. But, you know, those are important. You know, that people make decisions based on those things. Isn't the temperature too high? No. Pat, hello. Unless AMD sponsors the game. No, I'm talking about the streaming, encoding. I'm not talking about that encoding a stream has nothing to do if AMD sponsors the game or not. Is it really that noticeable? Absolutely, yeah. Tested it, you know, I've tested it many a times. Even to this day, I still wouldn't use AMD. Oh my god.
Great.
Like, the actual... Whenever I've got an AMD card in, I'm never ever using AMD encoder.
A silly boy.
And Protus isn't a boy at all, but
You can't punch, my sweet. It's sad, really. Oh my, our friend.
Hello.
I bet you can punch. Do me and the lady a favor here, would you? And thrash this.
Not many
idiot
people are
wretch.
streaming.
Thrash.
Yeah, but I'm saying that as an also marketing thing. DLSS 3, for example, frame generation.
Arthur could.
You know, that's also another factor.
I know. Punch us
That might be
as
important to
hard as you
people.
can. You'll
That, you know,
break
some
his
people
last
want to
nose.
play at over 100 FPS and stuff.
Night and the name.
That's important. Like, I see people comment every day about stuff like that. That's important to quite a lot of people. And yeah, okay, although FSR 3, you know, is in the works to some point, but if someone came to me and said they're getting it tomorrow, I mean, we don't know anything about FSR 3. It could be a year away yet. We don't know.
you really walloped him. Right, yikes.
You're keeping your 3070 for 5 more years. Let me know how the 8 gig is doing in 5 years. I mean, I'll know because I'll still have 8 gig cards, but that'll be interesting.
Ooh, look there. I got a proper chin. Not like that toe rag.
Good Lord above. Doesn't hurt. Hey, hit me again. Right here.
3060. Yeah, I mean, the 3060, though, you can get a 12 gig, so it's kind of less of an issue.
Weren't you taught never to hit girls? Punch a man for once. Give me your worst. Ugh.
I think he's done for.
Barely even felt it.
There's only one thing for it then. Hit me in the manhood. Don't worry, sir. Mine are made of steel.
They've come out his ears. My turn.
Enough, gentlemen?
Yes, I think so. I slipped, and I hope you killed the leprechaun.
But he's still alive? Shoot him, please, one of you.
There, up you get. We need to get some steak on those wounds.
Madam, gentlemen, good luck to you.
Whatever got into your head?
The LSS 3 gives the false perception of 100 FPS. What do you mean? You see 100 FPS on the screen, but it's not 100 FPS. Well, I mean, that's just not true, though, is it? It's AI inserted frames, so the frames are there. The latency is only an issue if you're natively below like 20 FPS, which you're not going to be anyway. If you're running natively below 20 FPS, you shouldn't be using frame generation. That's where the latency comes. That's pretty much the general rule of it. Which, if you're running below 20 FPS natively, you shouldn't be on those settings anyway. You'll have to drop the settings. Anything above that, if you're running at 50, 60 FPS natively, and you put frame generation on, trust me, there'll be no latency. You won't notice. Like, if you measure it, okay, fine, maybe there's, you know, a little bit increase of latency, but it's not something you're going to notice. Just like with the naked eye. And if that then bumps you over 100 FPS, you know, people want that. That's an important thing to some people. Doesn't bother me so much, but I know a lot, you know, I'm just a very specific niche of gamer, you know. There's lots of people where that's like a massive selling point. The whole latency thing on frame generation, to me, like, I've used it a lot, and I don't really understand. A lot of people who say about all this latency stuff have, like, a lot of people haven't actually ever even used it. Like, frame generation, they're just purely basing it off what they've heard online. I've used it a lot. The only time I've ever had any noticeable latency is Cyberpunk, when I was running at like I say, but below like 20 FPS natively. If you do that and then switch it on, you won't be able to play. It'll be that bad. But then just make sure that you're not that low. It's like, you know, it's not too difficult. Yeah, like I said, it will include, you know, it can, if you measure it, it'll increase latency. But if you're in a single player game, like, we're talking about milliseconds, like, you're not going, that's not going to affect your game, like, at all, you know?
Let's go, girl.
What's your problem? You got some kind of problem with me?
Like, you're talking, like, the difference between, say, for example, I was playing at 80 FPS and I dropped to 77 FPS. Like, if I wasn't measuring it, would I even notice that? No, I wouldn't, would I?
Out of the way! Yeah.
HWiN, hello. I gather you're a very, very, are you're hardcore AMD, are you? That's what it seems like. It sounds like you're very hardcore. Which is fine. I just try and be objective, really, about, you know, there's a lot of hate. I mean, people use their hate of Nvidia and they don't really actually think about the bigger picture, you know, really. If you objectively look at things, remove all the hate and stuff, and actually look at things for what they are. You have a 3090. What did you use the LSS3 on? Well, yeah, I mean, Cyberpunk, like I said, Cyberpunk is the worst implementation of DLSS and FSR I've ever seen on any game. So I wouldn't really personally just, you've played one game, fine, but I wouldn't take that as like gospel. You have to really play a wide range of games, really, personally, to actually see it. Like, that game, I still fall through the road on Cyberpunk, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not really taking any, I would say before you make a complete decision on the fact that DLSS 3, well, frame generation is no good, I would say you've definitely got to test it on more than that. If I also had only played using frame generation on Cyberpunk, I also probably wouldn't like it. But yeah, I think you've probably got to test out more games, really. If I only used FSR on Cyberpunk, I would hate that too. Like, to be honest, if you only ever played Cyberpunk full stop, you would think games are like, if that's your level of what you think a game's like, I mean, oof, it's rough. I don't blame you if you turn around and said, well, every game's rubbish after playing that. Don't blame you. Came out of that saying every game's a buggy mess, you know, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't blame you. So if you got a 3090, so what, do you like your 3090 then, or? Because that's a card that not a lot of people have. Very, like, you know, top end.
Hello again.
Hello. Oh, hello. How are you, sir? Morgan, Mr. Morgan. I'm sorry, my nerves.
FSR2, DLSS2, or... Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean. I don't think you can really take... The implementations of all of those things, whether AMD card or, you know, FSR or DLSS, they're both just awful in that game, to be honest. The quality of FSR in that game is dreadful compared to other games. So I don't really think you can... At least I would say try and just stay open-minded. Don't just play it on that and think it's bad. Like, maybe check it on other games.
Given the wind.
Yeah, sure. If you manage to attract the world's least intelligent wolf,
Well,
I'll stay with you a while. If anything comes,
I love it because I love VRAM. So yeah, so that's all I was saying really though, is obviously you made that decision to get that. Did you make that over getting, you know, a 6900 XT or something? Was that ever a consideration?
worse than the wolves.
You never consider getting that?
With wolves, Mr. Morgan?
Sure.
But you've never been eaten.
Not through lack of trying on their part. A while back, I helped a friend from getting devoured. Usually they are not great fans.
Luis, hello.
Don't blame them.
Me neither. Hey, shh. Here's one. Looks like we got company.
What is that in the tree? Is that meat?
Yes, there they are. In the trees. Now, don't do anything. I'm going to take a few photographs. Come on. Come on.
It is meat. Metro Enhanced. Yeah, it does. There are lots of games that have good DLSS. This game, it can be a bit ropey. We maybe switch it on, but I know in the past, whenever I've switched it on, I've had to restart the game when I've switched it back because it, like, makes the trees look weird.
Especially when
And I had before... What card was it where I had this green...
Stay still, my beauties.
I had this, like, green rendering on the game when I switched it on. Shall I shoot these things? Oh, this is a bad idea. Oh, I don't want to kill them.
they ain't proof. They're just wolves.
Mr. Morgan, help!
Oh, I'm dead. This is gone. This is not gone. This is not gone good, has it?
I hope you got what you came for. This
Oh no. All I've got is this pistol.
wanted wolves.
Oh my god. Need a shotgun.
Now, you don't know me very well.
Well, to me, you're a gentleman.
Usually, I'm worse than the wolves.
You had many dealings with wolves, Mr. Morgan?
Sure.
But you've never been eaten.
Should I sell a 3060 Ti before it depreciates? Well, I mean, prices on the 30 series are still really high. Why? What are you thinking of getting instead?
Usually they are not great fans of man.
Don't blame them.
Me neither. Hey, shh. Here's one. Looks like we got company.
Yes, there they are.
I'm thinking just don't shoot. I'm not going to shoot this time.
I'm going to take a few photographs. Come on.
For 1080p, what? A 3090? I wouldn't buy a 3090 for 1080p. 3090 brand new is still over $1,000 here. I wouldn't buy that for 1080p.
Boys. Come on.
You sold the 6900 XT. Why is that?
They think it's staged.
Yeah, sort of is.
What was the Did you not have a good time with the 900?
Especially when clawing at your eyeballs.
Come on. Stay still, my beauties.
But what would you'd go back to AMD on the new cards, would you? I'm not going to shoot this time.
My, they don't seem to be fans of modern technology.
On the other hand, looks like they may be fans of you.
Where's my gum? How do you do this bit?
They ain't so very friendly, are they? They was minding their own business.
Can I get my shotgun? Easy. I know where he's still getting attacked on.
This is a fool of an idea, I tell you.
Oh, there we go.
Is that all of them?
I sold it because I made money over the 3090. Oh, what, you sold the 900 XT for more and then got that? Yeah, but oh, what, that was literally the only reason.
Literally a dog's dinner.
There was no, like...
Still worse things happen at sea.
There was no, like, actual... there was no other reasoning to it.
Perhaps wolves do better at sea. Are they good swimmers? Well, who knows? You have saved my poor foolish skin once again.
Don't mention it.
Well, I can't begin to repay my debt of gratitude. But no, I am eternally...
700 XT?
I do, Mr. Mason.
Yeah, we'll have to see what that's like.
Take care now.
And you too, sir.
I never knew you can't use lower resolution on a high-end system without bottlenecking. What do you mean? Well, it depends what CPU you've got. If you've got a high-end system on both sides, the only time you ever really bottleneck is... Oftentimes, there's sometimes in games utilization issues, which it's not a hardware bottleneck. That's like more a game problem. But if you have a... The only time you're going to really have a hardware problem is if you've got a really low-end CPU, but like an insane GPU, then you might have problems.
So, you think that photograph will come out?
I can't say with certainty, but I'm hoping...
But it's going to vary on game, probably. But I mean, I could run my 3900K 4090 and be at 99% 1080p.
I'll be some time working on the mechanism. Good day to you, sir, and Godspeed.
But it's going to probably vary depending on the game.
Hey there, girl.
1050 Ti can't handle it. Even on like the lowest settings. I'm sure I used to play it on a 1050. I had a 1050 laptop ages ago and I used to play this, but it would be like the the lowest. For me, always the money is the reason. Anything could be bought. Yeah, no, I just wonder, like, because I don't think I'd ever sell something just purely based on... Oh, I could sell this for more and buy something else. Like, there'd also be some other, oh, I think it might be better, I don't know if I could be asked to go through the hassle of selling it and then buying something else unless I thought there was some benefit to it, Like, other benefit other than just money. Why can't I use... Oh, we didn't... Did we go to Valentine? I think I did go to Valentine and I forgot why I was there. Should we, I wonder if I could just switch to 1440p. I don't know if it'll let me. It will do. I'm not sure what this will do to the... Yeah, I'll just make the overlay small, but we can deal with that. There you go, 55 FPS. So you could easily hit 60. Drop some of the some of the settings. You'd be over 60. 1080p 55. No, this is 1440p right now. I'm just checking it out. Over 60 now. See what it'd be like. See what we get in Valentine. Stream says 1440. Yeah, it's up. Stream is upscaled. 1440p quality streaming is much better than 1080p.
Hey, enough out of you. Stay back from the wagon, sir. Transporting a few.
It's all 49 then. But you could easily do it at 60 just by dropping some stuff. VRAM's gone up, over 7 now. Power hasn't really changed. I need to get some hay for my horse. Isaac, hello, how's it going?
Where are you going? Hang on a second. Have a nice evening.
Alright, get him some hay. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, this car's not really aimed at 1440p maxed out though, but I mean, even then, we could do in and around 60, so.
No more violence in here. Got some stable space for rent if you're
Not sure what you mean by decent. What do you consider decent in 1440p? Because I would say 60 FPS is pretty standard. I'm not sure what your view of what decent means is. What was I buying? Provisions. Buy everything. Oh no, did I just kill the dog?
If my wife saw you come in here after what you did to me, she'd kill you herself. I'm watching you. Don't think I ain't. Buy your things and get gone. No more nonsense from you. Here's the catalog.
80 to 90. Yeah, well, I mean, you'd have to buy a high, like either drop your settings or buy a high tier card. Really, I mean, even someone earlier, I think was saying 3070. They're getting 70 FPS at 1440p. So you'd even need to buy something better than that, unless you want to drop your settings.
I ain't gonna stay patient forever. Get down to business.
Then I wake up from this utopia. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if they do a 4050. Do you think they're going to do a 4050? Right, let me switch back. It'd be interesting to see what a 4050 plays like, you know? Like, what's that going to be like? That'll play like a 3040. Give me 1 sec. I'm just gonna drop in a bit of frames. I'm just gonna drop my bitrate a little bit. Just bear with me. And I'll make sure I save it as well. What is it under story? I haven't saved it in a while. You think they will do a 4050? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that'd be 8 gig as well, but let's I was thinking of fast traveling down to. Oh, we can't because I'm wanted. Is that why I can't? Let's go and maybe do one of these. Is that why I can't fast travel? Now we can feed the horse at least. Do I think they'll increase the VRAM on the Oh god, it's dropping again, hang on. I personally don't think they will be increasing the VRAM. Because the 4090 Ti is rumoured to be 24 gig too. So, if they're not increasing the VRAM on a 4090 Ti, I don't know why they would do it on a 4080 Ti. I guess there's a small chance maybe you see 20, but I don't think you will. I don't think you will see it. Cannot convince you that 60 Hz is good. Well, I wouldn't say, like, it really is relative to what you're used to be honest. If you only play on 60, you get quite used to it. I've obviously played at like I've got a 240 Hz monitor. I mean, would I rather play at 240? Yeah, of course, like all day long. But 60 Hz is really just the standard, you know, benchmark really, if you're below or above, you know. Maybe in like years from now, like 144 will maybe become more of a standard, like, you know, once we're hitting some insane frames as a standard, you know, because you're seeing more and more stuff now that's just over, you know. Most TVs are like 120, most monitors are above 60, you know. Over time, that'll just then increase to like the standard. I think because consoles are doing 120, I think 120 might start to become like more of a standard. But because obviously console gaming is like insanely popular, I think that might become more of a standard. But for me personally, like if I'm maxing out a brand new game, like with all of the settings, and it's a single player game, and I'm above 60, like, I don't really have much of an issue with that. If I could play Cyberpunk, path tracing, native 4K, above 60, if I'm between 60 and 70, I've got no problem with that. Which, we're not quite there yet. Maybe with a 4090 Ti, I can start doing that native. But then in a multiplayer shooter, ideally I'd want to have, if I was playing in my own personal time, I'd want to have more.
Hey, mister! Help me! My horse died and I'm stuck here. You gotta help me, mister. No need for fancy talk, eh? Raise your hands.
Oh, they're saying, no, not my watch. You're not going to play 4K on it? What, a 4090 Ti? Yeah, I think we should start to hit 60 FPS, I'm hoping, with that build. Because we're not far off it now. Or I'm thinking of just normal ray tracing, not path tracing. Like psycho ray tracing, native 4K, everything maxed. We'll do about... It's about 40 to 45 FPS on a 4090. So, a 4090 Ti, even if we get a 10 to 15 FPS increase, you know, we're going to be in and around 60. Obviously, it's going to dip below more than likely, but that's still... Then starts to become playable natively, which is quite a... That'll be quite a first to be able to do that at 4K. Right, I'm almost there. As soon as I can fast travel, I'm not quite sure why I can't. I think it's because I've got this whole area I'm wanted. I'm not sure how I get rid of that. Got a bit of stuttering there. VRAM only really goes up by like a couple of hundred meg from 1080p to 1440p. We're at 6.9. We were at like 7.1, 7.2. Ti, it's 20. Yeah, it would be good to be at 20. I don't think it's anything to be like crazily worried about. You can play 4K ray tracing at like 14 to 16 gig, like everything maxed with ray tracing. So I don't think it's a problem just yet. Oh, I am dead here. I haven't got my hand on the controller. Like, anything above 20 and above really is like... The only time I've seen those is either memory leak, which obviously shouldn't be there, or 8K, which, like, no one's really playing yet. Like, the only time I've ever seen 24 gigs of VRAM struggle is 8K. So, like, I don't think we need to be worried about those kind of levels just yet. But it's sometimes hard to tell at 8K because it's not all games really like that res, like regardless of VRAM. Like on Witcher, for example, it memory leaks and it crashes the game. And it just, some games don't even support that resolution, like you can't even change it. So it's kind of sometimes hard to tell exactly what's going on.
This is it.
You okay?
Peachy.
Because I think on console, right, you can only hit 120 hertz in 1440p, right? Is that true? You have to drop it to 1440p to hit, or is it performance mode in 4K? So you're rendering at 1440p, upscaling to 4K for 120. Is that what's happening? I actually don't know. I assume it's something like that. It's not doing 4K native 120, is it?
I hear the last of them is holed up at Hanging Dog Ranch.
I don't have it in me no more. I saw Colm swing. I just don't care.
At least 20 gig. Yeah, but the thing is that is kind of off the basis of you making a prediction that VRAM usage just indefinitely goes up in games, which we don't know, do we? Like with engines like Unreal Engine 5. Am I helping her? Help her. I think that'll use less you know, we don't really know. We're just kind of guessing at that point. We're just assuming VRAM will just indefinitely go up, but I'm not sure. There's other things that affect it, you know? Like ray tracing is a big thing. And obviously Unreal Engine 5 has lumen and nanite and stuff like this. Like, we don't know what there is in the future, which it's like, that uses less VRAM, so...
I mean, help them escape when I...
Or it might go the other way and it just goes insane. I don't know, you know, it's a bit of a...
We're more ghosts.
It's a guess, obviously.
They could...
I know.
They might come out with...
Of course I will.
What's the next one up from path tracing? I don't even know.
Ride with me now, or meet me up at Hanging Dog Ranch.
Path tracing. How can we get any more detailed than that?
Thanks.
Particle tracing.
Okay, come on.
It's not every single path of light. It's every single individual particle of everything. That could happen. That could happen in 6 months. And all of a sudden we're using 25 gigs of VRAM at 1080p. Okay, the honor's still good. Never seen it. Never had good honor in this game. That's the plan. Keep it like that. But no, I agree. Like 20 gig would obviously be nice. That'd be a nice thing to have on the 4080. I just don't think we'll see it on the TI personally. I'd be surprised if we do. It'd be good if we do. I just don't think we will.
Hey.
You seen anything down there?
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of them.
Unless AMD come up with something like well,
For one of them,
I mean they've already got the XT that's got 20, so
him, he's mine.
800 XT is not gonna have more than that, is it?
It's a big ranch, run down, lots of folk there, but spread pretty thin. I'll set it off, and then we'll take it from there.
Take it from there. Okay. So, no real plan then.
Oh, I got a plan. Now come on.
I know that woman. She was with Dutch.
Why is it so zoomed out? For $400. Yeah, but it's kind of the same with everything though, isn't it? Like, I remember, I don't really know what it's like with iPhones now, but back in the day, do you remember when they used to buy, like, you'd spend over $1,000 for an iPhone and you'd get like 150, you know, I don't know how big the hard drives were. You'd get like a 64 gig hard drive. Do you know what I mean? It's like the same thing. I think it's higher now though, right? I think you get like higher by default. I don't know. I know back in the day it was like... You'd pay like $1,000 for a brand new phone and get like 64 gigs or something. And then you'd have to spend like $1,500 for like 256 gig, you know? It kind of reminds me of that. Like, if you're spending over $1,000, you know, I think in a phone you should have more than that. Maybe it's better now. Not actually really seen the new phones.
It's over now.
If you die with O'Driscoll, get out of here. Let's see what's in that of yours.
Jake Adler. Sadie Adler! Okay, you take the barn, I'll take the farmhouse.
Do me a favor, guys. Make sure to drop a like on the stream if you haven't. Try and get as many likes as we can. I'll be on tomorrow. Play some Diablo. I think it comes with 128 now. I mean, it's still not that it's still not that great. I don't really know how much. I don't actually know how much my phone is.
We'll see you laid out.
I don't really, to be fair, I don't really have that much stuff on my phone. The only thing I have is I save all my Spotify like locally, so I don't need to be connected to internet, which that probably takes up quite a lot of memory, doesn't it? And then I save, oh my god. If I go on like a trip or something, I'll, you know, find a series on Netflix or something to download. It's only stuff like that I need, really. Which I don't really think that stuff takes up too much memory on the phone these days. I actually don't know. 120 is good for a phone. Fair enough. 4070 Ti for what? 1440p? It's not so important compared to... Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's as important as VRAM. I'm just saying, like, comparison of the way companies are, you know? You were saying, you know, like, business practices, but it's the same, like, everywhere. It's not just limited to Nvidia. It's like, you know, you can almost compare those things with pretty much every big corporation. They all do stuff like that in their products. Yeah, for 1440p, if you're not bothered about ray tracing or streaming and stuff, I'll even streaming with AV1 will be alright. I'd get the 7900 XT instead. Either get the 7900 XT or get the 4070. I wouldn't bother getting the Ti. It's like, even compared to a 4070, it's like, how much more is it for the Ti? It's like an extra 350 pound, and there's not much, it's not that much better.
Was always sweet on one another.
I'm sure.
Yeah. I miss him every day, every moment.
A770. As much as I wanted to love that card, I just can't. I just have too many problems with it to recommend it.
They still pure.
I'm excited for the new ones, the new Intel ones, but I just had too many problems.
Aside from my Jake, you're the best man I've known.
I know the company you keep. The competition ain't too fierce. We should get away from her.
I think I need to be alone for a bit.
I understand.
20% better. Yeah, probably on the generous end, 20%. Yeah, but like I'm saying, in England, I'm talking specifically England, but you've got to spend an extra £300 to £400 more for that. I mean, I don't think that's worth it. Personally, I've used both, and I don't see the point in spending the money for the Ti, personally. It's obviously a bit better, but I don't think it's worth the extra. And even if I was going to spend that amount on the Ti, I'd just get the 7900 XT. Like, if you're going to spend then that much, just get the 7900 XT. If you're adamant on parting ways with that much money. 300, yeah, it's like in that range, depending on the model, it's like 300 to 400. I forget the exact pricing. I think some of those TIs go for like 800. I mean, I could have a quick look. It might maybe come down in price now. I'm thinking of kind of when they all first came out. I don't know if the price has come down, but 6650 XT. I've never actually used one. For 1080p, it's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, there's some TIs here going for 850 quid. £850 for a TI. 4070 Ti. You could maybe get one as cheap as maybe 750. You could get one. Still a lot though, isn't it? And then you look at a 4070. You could get a 4070 for 550 quid. So yeah, like you're looking at in a range of maybe 250 to 400 more, depending on obviously the model.
Yep.
$280. I thought Sweden was super expensive. I mean, to be fair, because England left the EU, I think it's jacked everything. But I think it's like, by the sounds of it, even in Germany, places like this, it's well, that's 220. I mean, it's still quite a lot. 220 to 230 pound more. You get it slightly cheaper than we do. That's still a lot, though. I still don't think. I don't know. It's a lot of money. I don't personally think spending £800 for 1440p. That's crazy in my opinion. If you are going to do it, like I say, if I was going to spend that much no matter what, then I'd get the 7900 XT. I wouldn't bother getting the just get that with the extra VRAM and stuff. It's better.
You good, girl?
But if I then wanted to save some money on a 1440p, you know, get something lower than that. Because, for example, even just in Last of Us, that's a demonstration of my point. Like, I didn't have issues with the 4070 Ti, but the VRAM was a problem, where the XT played way better. So in brand new games, you're definitely going to see some a benefit there. But it has more VRAM. What are we talking about? The TI? Are we talking about the TI? Maybe you're talking about something else. Wait, did you just die? And it's 970 for the... Yeah, I mean... I just wouldn't recommend anyone spending almost $1,000 on a 4070 Ti. That's so much. But if you're comparing that to a 3090 Ti... I mean, a 3090 Ti here goes for about £1,200, £1,300. That's over $1,500 for a 3090 Ti brand new. So, like, if I was picking between those two, then yeah, I'd get a 4070 Ti. It plays with roughly the same performance, obviously without the VRAM, but in games it plays about the same. For, like, £400 cheaper. And then it kind of loops back to my my original thought of that. You end up in this loop of being like, you know, you start off with a budget of 300, and then you think, oh, well, I could spend an extra £200 for this. And then it's like, well, if I'm buying a 4070 Ti, I might as well just get a 4080 because it's only £300 more. You know, before you know it, you're at 4090. No, I mean, exactly. Like, the 30 series pricing is just insane. Like, a 3090 Ti is the same price as a 4080. You just get a 4080, it, like, blows it out of the water. In, like, everything. Performance. You know, outside of VRAM, power consumption is way better on a 4080. My 30 Ti used to max out at 450. Just stay there. Uses less VRAM? You mean has less VRAM? It does have less VRAM, but at 4K, you don't need 24 gig, like, anyway. So that kind of doesn't really make any difference. A wise man once said a fool and his cash are easily parted. Oof. Quote of the day. Are you calling me a fool? Why is my horse's stamina so... What can I give him? Here we go. Get that down, yeah. Why would anyone get a 4080? Might as well get a 40... Here we go. That's my point. That's... Before you know it, you've got a 5090.
Come here. Oh. Lord have mercy! Oh, hey, come back! Oh no!
Yeah, you can undervolt the 3090 for... If I had that...
Could you help me? My horse ran away.
If I had that in like a personal build permanently, I probably would. Like, if that's something I just used all day long, probably would consider doing that. 4060 is a warm boy. It's not too bad for the size of the card. It's only got 2 fans, so it's not too bad. Pretty standard for the size of the card. It's pretty standard. Compare this to like my 3070 Ti, which this card's actually smaller, I would say, than my 3070 Ti. It's a bit wider, but my 3070 Ti, this is actually cooler, I think, than my 3070 Ti. So it's not it's nothing out of the ordinary, really.
This is really nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, accept my thanks as reward. I won't forget this.
Sure,
Honor's going up. Does everyone leave their PC on standby? No, I normally switch it off. Any idea to get more USB ports? What do you mean? Are you going to engineer more USB ports? You could just get like a USB splitter, couldn't you? Or you get these like USB hubs where you plug in. I don't know if it's only USB 3 where it really works, but you plug it in and it gives you like, you know, like, I don't know, what do you call that? It's like an extension cable. plug one USB in and it gives you like another 5 ports or whatever. Is that what you mean? This is the performance I would expect from a 4060. It's sad.
Easy.
You know what is sad? This right here is going to be quite sad. Is this what you're making me do? This is sad. It's sad how Nvidia is greedy. Is this more sad? I would say this is. This is about to be more sad than in what Nvidia is doing. No, I wouldn't do it. I'm not that mean. SpongeBob is... SpongeBob? Is that the bot? The SpongeBob bot. The Sponge bot. Memory can be clocked. Oh, what, you want me to do it in MSI? I need more. Yeah, look at like a USB extension thing then, I guess. That's what you're looking for. Oh, I got cramp in my foot. I also can't get up MSI now. I'm going to have to alt-tab it. It's because I got it full screen. I'm a bit concerned because last time I did this, it crashed everything. What are we doing it to? 10,000? I mean... What do you want me to do it to? I mean, what's an acceptable amount each time to do it? I'm doing it. You seeing it go up? How do you get more USB ports? Yeah, I said, like, Google USB extension thing. Hub. 1,200. Every time I do it, my frame time goes up. You see that? Look. Splitter, yeah. Or like a hub. Type in like USB hub or something on Google. I'm sure you could get like a thing you plug in and it gives you like an extra 5 ports or something. I assume that's what you want. Alright, I'm at 999. What was I doing it to? What does it? I mean, my GPU sounds like it's going to explode. Oh my god. Right, we're at 1,230. Don't really see any difference, though. USB hub, yeah, something like that. I assume that would be... I've never used one, but I assume that's a thing. Where I kind of used to use a similar thing with an old job where you could plug in a Surface Book to like a USB dock. Not a dock, I guess it was a dock. You'd plug it into, it'd be plugged into the laptop USB and it'd give you like an extra 10 USB ports. So I assume you could probably find something like that on Amazon. The Law, hello. Right, I'm not really sure it's given us really much of a difference. Not giving us like crazy higher. How much performance did we say? 10% more. Doesn't really seem to be too much different. Apart from my GPU sounds like it's going to explode. Why do I play on the lower end over the 4090? Just because I've got like all the cards. I just like to test different stuff out in different games. I don't really have any. Obviously, I love playing on the my 4090 because it's just like the best thing you can have. But I've got loads of cards, so. I just like testing them out. I fought the law and the law won. I needed money, but I had none.
I will.
She's the best girl that I ever. I fought the law. Oh no, not hillbillies.
You move, fancy boots. Unlike you, I's honorable.
No, no. You're being robbed. Wait, wait. Right between the eyes. Right between the eyes. That didn't go too good for him, did it? Do I have multiple rigs or multiple cards? I have multiple rigs, but I usually switch. I have almost... Well, I have 2.5 computers. I'll have 3 once my AM5, once I finish that off. I mainly, at the moment, just switch my cards out of this PC. My 13, my Intel one. What was that lovely song? It was The Clash. Well, it depends if you're talking about the original or not. I don't know who sung the original. It was like an old... Wasn't it an old, like, American 60s song? Burger. Oh. I'll tell you what, burgers absolutely slap. Five Guys. Oh. And the chips as well. Oh. Man, those chips. Oh. There's so many as well. When they put them in that bag. It's just never ending. And that Fanta Zero refill, oh. Unlimited refill. Get me the small cup, and I'll fill it up 10 times. Where the hell is this taking me? But I tell you what's also pretty good. When I was in America, In-N-Out Burger. Oh. I have a HDD external with USB hub so I can plug in another... Oh, you already have... You already have a USB hub. How many ports on the PC USB do you have just by default without any hub already? Clash, I heard everything of them, but I didn't understand. Oh, what, the song? Yeah, it's just the Clash, I Fought the Law. One of them probably... I wonder what the most popular... Probably that song or... London Calling, that's pretty popular. Who was that guy who was calling that wolf? Because he's about to get shot up. Inspect. What have we found here? Let's put SpongeBot on timeout. Why? What's he doing? He is a bot, so you just got to be a bit... It's like talking to ChatGPT. He might even be plugged into ChatGPT. You hear that thing of that, I think it's like some lawyer who was using like, he used ChatGPT and like all of the what is it, like all the, it was like some document proving previous cases and like all of the cases ChatGPT like made up. And then he got in trouble for it. Oh no. What am I talking about? What do you mean? SpongeBot. You have 4 USB ports, 2 for mouse and keyboard, 2 for so the hub already. I mean, you don't really have much choice but to get another hub. Unplug the mouse and keyboard, plug the mouse and keyboard into the hub. Like that's really your only. That's your only solution, isn't it? Get another hub, plug the mouse and keyboard into the hub instead of the PC.
Careful with that horse, Arthur.
Relax.
Or, I mean, that's the most sensible, you know, fix. The only other fix would be to buy a new motherboard with more ports, but I mean, that wouldn't really be... That would be the only other alternative, which I would say is not worth it. I would definitely just get another hub. I don't think there's any other way.
Josiah?
How many GPUs do I currently have?
Leaving again?
Yes, just leaving. I'll see you soon.
250? No, I'm joking.
What do you mean?
Well...
Probably like 15, to be honest. Not that, not.
Pretty much over.
I mean, I say not that many, but I know there's some YouTubers out there who have about 100.
Not pretend no more. Get out of here.
I've probably got maybe between 15 and 20.
You've been a fine friend to me.
No, let's not get over sentimental.
I don't really count them, but I don't like to count them because it hurts my wallet. Thinking of, I don't know what word to use. Hurts my heart and my wallet.
Mr. Morgan. Sir. How are you? A little better. I hope so. How can I help you? I'm sorry to impose on you again, but I believe I've made progress.
I thought the law from their first album.
I believe so.
Oh, you have the UK version.
Agreed to a meeting to discuss and maybe resolve his alleged grievances and mine. Now, he has lied to me more times than I care to remember.
Yeah, I wonder what the most popular...
He must want peace.
What's the most popular one on Spotify of their songs?
We want to humiliate us further. We got words for his kind, but they're colloquial. Perhaps I could make one last.
Oh, it's should I stay or should I go? Makes sense.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of
I thought the law's actually only just it's in the top. It's the 5th most listened to.
Their chances of lying or worse will be reduced. Will you, Arthur?
Should I stay or should I go? 862 million plays. Jeez.
But it is mine.
It dwarfs I Thought the Law by loads. I Thought the Law was only 100 million.
Saved your life. Do it for me.
Sure. Come on.
I forgot about that one.
You owe this man.
I was thinking of London Calling. And Rock the Casbah as well. That's pretty big one. You can buy a PCI Express card to add USB ports. Oh, nice. There you go. Didn't know that one. There's your third option.
This way. I also have some men meeting me there.
Texas Red.
Sure if you'd be able to help.
Isn't that a song off, is it Fallout?
Thank you for doing
By the
this,
name
all
of
you.
Texas Red.
You have already
Oh no, it's
done
Big
this.
Iron.
Ain't a problem. Just hope
Big
no one
Iron on
recognizes
his
me.
head.
Had a few run-ins with the army recently.
I wish we could have done more to control the situation. That shouldn't have gotten involved. Now
You bought their first album in London Calling. Nice, yeah.
It certainly won't
Yeah, they're a
help our case
decent
today.
band. I actually met
promise you.
I met Mick Jones, the he's this like second guitarist from that band. When I was like, been super into music my entire life. I play like drums and I played guitar when I was younger, but I wasn't very good at it. But when I was, where was I? I was at an airport somewhere when I was like quite young. And
Part of the reason they're doing these things.
yeah, I saw him in an airport. Mick Jones. He's the yeah, because Joe Strummer's the like vocals and like guitar, but he passed away, didn't he? You met John Cena. RKO. Wait, is that John Cena? I know the song, the John Cena song. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I don't watch wrestling though. RKO is not John Cena, is it not? Who's that? Wait, is John Cena the person that I think he is? He's the guy who's in movies and stuff, isn't he? Yeah, he's the guy I'm thinking of. Is that not RKO?
Here we are. There's my men up
Randy Orton. That just shows you how much I don't know anything about wrestling. I used to play wrestling, the SmackDown. The only I know The Rock,
This way.
Rikishi, Hardy Brothers, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Scotty 2 Hotty. That's pretty much it. That's SmackDown 2, is it?
Whoa. Whoa.
You met Robert De Niro. What did you say to him? Are you talking to me?
Colonel Favors, Captain Monroe, we come in peace.
Hello again. Who are these two?
They're friends of my people.
Interesting looking fellows.
You know, they won't cause any trouble.
Well, I should hope not. Listen, Mr.
Chief.
Yes, Mr. I can't say that silly name. What is it?
In English, they call me Rains Fall.
Yes, I'm sure they do. Listen, we're all Americans here, and we want an outcome. But quite frankly, I'm confused. Your men are little more than criminals, in my opinion.
I'm going to reset this overclock.
We've made, causing disturbances in everybody's lives. But I pride myself on being a gentleman.
Just in case it crashes.
I do. But there are limits. So, let me be very... You okay, man? Someone. Jackson, take him away. Where was I?
You're a gentleman with limits?
Are you being facetious, sir?
Come this way, buddy.
I said, are you being facetious, Captain Monroe?
No, sir, I am not.
Chief Rains.
That's, Rain's fault.
Exactly. Chief Rains. The thing
It's quite a
is,
cough.
the federal government.
Sure.
That I handle
Wait here.
this situation.
I'll fetch you some water.
I'll be fine. Thank you.
No, no. You know he's going to have Monroe court-martialed. Or attempt to. He's going to make a disgrace of him.
Monroe? Seems likable enough for a West Pointer. Why?
You know what Favors is like. Because he thinks it's right. Because he thinks Monroe is a patsy.
Once I start working on my save for,
He's convinced he had
what are you going to do with it?
those vaccines getting stolen. He thinks Monroe is going to force him into making a concession with the Indians. So he removes Monroe.
Wait, get up.
Removes how?
Favors wants him tried for treason and hanged.
Is it this like weird flickering on the lighting?
Care about the Indians?
Because he doesn't want to back down. I mean, his whole professional life. You know what they say about him. Hightail Favors. The man who missed the battle.
What when I play Diablo 4, what character shall I?
Kinda liked him.
I know.
I don't really know. Like I played the demo, but I've never really played that game properly. I never played Diablo. I played Diablo 3 once. Play either the
Feeling better?
Yeah, come on.
the melee guy, the hammer guy.
Currently occupied belong to the United States government. Why is this so confusing, sir? Why?
Good day, Colonel Favors.
Well, that was remarkably unproductive. I'm afraid the federal government was quite clear, Colonel, that it wanted peace.
Driver or overclock causing? Oh, what, the lighting? I actually just think it's the game. I switched the overclock off now. If you look at those tents, the lighting is moving. I think it's imitating the lantern swinging about, which obviously when you're outside it looks fine, but I think it just looked weird in that cutscene. The way it was on his, because you see it's windy, it's moving, it's swinging the lanterns around. So I don't think it's a driver thing. I think it just looked weird, but the way how close he was to the light was maybe making it look weird, and the fact he was in the tent. Like, look, you see the way the lights are kind of flickering in the tent. A little bit, do you see? It was just some kind of, I don't know what tent I was in. Was I in that one? The one there? Collaborated with the guerrillas. He did, yeah. Oh, God. Druid. Which one's that? Which one's the one that everyone thought was OP? Is that Druid? But Sex Pistols have released the best punk album of all time, you reckon? Yeah, they've got some good songs. I think I prefer the Clash over Sex Pistols. Sex Pistols is just like outright hardcore punk, where the Clash is a bit more like I don't know. It's a bit more like melodic, I guess, is the word, is it? Sex Pistols was just like aggressive, like pop, like punk. Don't know if you, I don't know if how I'm explaining it very well. I'll tell you what was a cracking band, Joy Division. You ever listen to them? It's kind of like, it's sort of punk, but it's like, I don't even know what category that falls into. It's like new wave, or they started off really punky. Well, I mean, they turned into New Order, didn't they, eventually, but
Okay, it's now or never.
Post-punk, yeah, that's the word. It's depressing. Yeah, I guess it is. But like, just musically is pretty the first album, what was it, Unknown Pleasures? Like the way that album sounds is crazy. I love all those Manchester bands though, like Joy Division, The Smiths, even into like the 90s, like Stone Roses, Oasis. Like, I love all those bands. It's like the music that gets churned out of that city. Pretty next level. Have I heard Californication? What, Red Hot Chili Peppers?
I think we're finally in the clear. Everybody okay?
Not really.
Clash made more albums and more consistent, and Clash more... Yeah, like, Sex Pistols had a couple of bangers, but it's just kind of like out and out, just like aggressive, hardcore part, you know. Where like Clash is a bit more appealing to me because it's just a bit more... I couldn't keep listening to the Sex Pistols over and over, do you know what I mean? But then Clash, I could just keep listening to the... you know, I could just listen to the same songs over and over. California, yeah, Red Hot Chili's, yeah. I have heard it, yeah. Best Red Hot Chili Peppers song, Scar Tissue. Oh, that song is an absolute banger. The guitar solo in that song, absolute banger. Kind of grew up on the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Get out of here, Captain Monroe.
I fear it may be Mr. Monroe from now on.
I'm sorry about your career. Here. Here's some money. You take it and get out of here.
Is DLSS on? No.
New life somewhere. I hear Tahiti's nice.
Thank you.
Just hop on a train to Saint Denis, jump on a boat.
I'll switch it on though, because I don't think we checked that out yet.
Forget about it.
Meet me at the reservation.
Morgan! Are you okay?
Well, never better. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm on my way down to Mexico. They're finally sending me on a mission. Brother Dorkins is very jealous.
Do you have a Vergilius, do you have a big music scene in Sweden? I always wonder what it's like in like Europe, what the kind of music scenes are like. Are they big or? Because I feel like just like English and American music just dominates so much stuff, you know. I know, like in the Netherlands, I have a few friends who live there, and they have quite a big like music scene of their own.
Bad life, sister.
We've all lived bad lives, Mr. Morgan. We all sin. But I know you.
You don't know me.
Forgive me, but that's the problem. You don't know you.
What do you mean?
I don't know, but whenever we happen to meet, you're always helping people and smiling.
I had a son. He passed away. I had a girl who loved me. I threw that away. My mama died when I was a kid. And my daddy... Well,
I'll switch the DLSS on in a sec, yeah. What's that song that says Tommy's working down by the dot? It's
died a long time ago.
I'll have to Google it. I know that. I know it's Bon Jovi, isn't it?
Also love and beauty.
I think it's Bon Jovi.
What am I gonna do now?
Be grateful.
What's the
that
exact
for the
lyric? Yeah, it is
first
Bon
time
Jovi. Living on a
you see
prayer.
your life clearly.
Joe Blogs, yeah, living on a prayer. But it's Tommy used to work on the docks.
Makes you really happy.
That's the correct.
But I still don't believe in nothing.
One of your favourite English
Often
Manchester
neither do I.
charlatans. Yeah, they're good.
But then I meet someone like you.
They had an absolute... What was the...
Makes sense.
What was that absolute banger that they
You're
had?
too smart for me, sister. I guess
Probably the most... Yeah, the one and only, that one, yeah.
I'm afraid.
Yeah, I like that sound.
There is nothing to be afraid of.
It's kind of similar Stone Roses sound, isn't it?
Take a gamble that love exists.
I don't know what you call that type of sound.
All aboard? I shall try.
I know you will.
It's like really reverby.
Goodbye, goodbye, Mr. Morgan. Goodbye.
Sister?
Like the songs sound really, like, big. Right, DLSS. You have mostly pop and death metal. Yeah, I don't even really know if I've listened to death metal. There's like heavy metal is the kind of one genre. I pretty much don't really have like any hate. I don't hate any type of music. I pretty much listen to like everything. Like I'm open to everything. But one thing I just can't get into is just really, really like heavy metal. Like, I just can't really. I have listened to it, but I just can't really get into it. Did you listen to One Hot Minute? Which album's that? Is that their first one? Or was that a more recent one? I kind of didn't really listen to so much of their recent stuff. That was their more earlier stuff, wasn't it? 1995, yeah, that was kind of a bit really between... Oh no, their first album I'm thinking of is their Blood Sugar. That's the first one. Yeah, no, I don't... What songs were on this album? This was kind of really before I got into them. First album, the big album, was the... Is it the one after this? The one with... It'd probably been with the one with Californication on it. I think it would have been that one. Yeah. That other one was kind of a bit before my time. This is DLSS on. I haven't really gained that much FPS. We're probably not going to dip though. Imagine we don't have as big dips. You know, some areas we're getting 65, 70. I don't think we see those dips anymore. I'm a weird... Oh, what for not like... Trying grindcore. Yeah, I have a friend who, when he's in the gym, he just listens to, like, that type of music, but... I listen to, like, really aggressive hip-hop music when I'm in the gym. I go about as far, like... As, like, I don't even know. I guess they fall into heavy metal, but, like, Slipknot and... Korn, is it? I go about as far as that. Juice WRLD, what's that? I don't know what that is. What's my favourite band? Oh, I don't really have a favourite. I don't have like an out-and-out favourite. Of like recent years, and probably the band I listened to most is like growing up. Like when I was in my teens, it was all indie, like indie rock music. And the band Foals, I don't know if you know them. They still do really good music. I've kind of grown up with them. I still love all their music. And they've changed, like every one of their albums has been like a different sound. 1 Hot Minute was the album before Californication. Yeah, I don't think I really... That was kind of before... That was a bit before my time. I'd have been 4 when that album released. I'd have been a little bubba with my Game Boy. My black and white Game Boy. Getting my first Pikachu. You know, like, was it Pokemon, what was it, Pokemon Red, Blue or Yellow? Oof, big choice, that one. Two-pack. Two-pack or biggie, though. Oof. Easy E. NW. Have you seen the movie? I can't believe how like done over he got. He got screwed, didn't he? Big is trash. Nah, come on, come on. Behave. Keyframes, hello.
Oh, hey, you there. Think you could help a lady out?
I am noticing this kind of weirdness on his head. Do you see it? With DLSS?
Think you could give me a ride?
Yeah, sure. Hop on.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. You know Emerald Ranch? Mind taking me there? Think you might have got twisted around.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Easy is the best album. I tell you what's a banger. You know that diss track by Ice Cube? What is it? Vaseline? Is it that one? That is hilarious. That's like the craziest diss track. What do we got? Ultra Performance. Here we go. But you get all this issue, look. See the trees?
That horse, you know. Raised it since it was just a foal.
It's not really done anything for my frames. But it looks dreadful.
Yeah, that horse.
You get all this crazy flickering, look at it.
My husband, truth be told. That fool.
Yeah, the DLSS in this game is definitely not the best that I've ever used.
To wave the flies away. Aside from to lift a drink, of course.
I've had issues before with like green. It sometimes filled my screen with like green. Half the screen will be green.
Brave. Didn't take no guff, not from no one. Had one of them mountain boys pull a gun on me once. I was riding up near the Dakota and had stopped by a nice warm patch. Must have dozed off, but I wake up and find some nasty piece of work pointing a rusty
Ice Cube's
shotgun
Predator.
straight at me. Well,
Yeah, I can't say I've ever listened to like a whole album of his. I just probably, you know, I know all the generic
nipped his ear clean off. Kicked
generic
his hide,
songs.
too, as he was hollering away. Didn't think a man could run so fast.
Okay, girl. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, had a good laugh on that one. I tell the husband, what does he do? Should have never gone over there, honey, he says. Gee, thanks.
So, you live at Emerald Ranch then?
For the time being.
I wonder if now though, if I switch it back, because I had this issue before. If you now switch it back, it doesn't fix the flickering. It just goes crazy. Let me go full screen too, because sometimes that affects it. The only annoying thing is every time I go onto my go the overlay, it if I press anything on the keyboard, it automatically borderless windows it.
I was looking for work. They was looking for some help with the gardens.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say DLSS quality is like acceptable to use. It's not too bad. It doesn't give you that much though. I just think it stops you from dipping loads.
Well,
Even still, I say that we're at 80.
The owner's a mean bastard. Strange too. The light's in bullying folk. There's a daughter, but she never leaves the house.
Have I got a SoundCloud account? Probably. I haven't used SoundCloud in ages. Probably got one somewhere. Do you have to have an account to... If you, drop me a link in Discord and I'll check it out. I've definitely got an account, but I've probably not logged into it in, like, a long time. But I'm sure I can, reset the password. Used to upload music to there as well when I was in bands and stuff, but I don't know if any of that's still on there.
Here we go. This is great.
Yeah, like you can see it on the horse's hair as well. It kind of looks, it like, you see it? It's only when I'm moving. It just looks really grainy.
Appreciate it.
Oh, look at that honor.
What a lousy.
There ain't no way I'm getting bad honor now. Like, look, you see it in the horse's head hair. Do you see? Right there. Like, in this lighting here. You see that? And even... Oh. Taking a dump. Then if we switch it off... What are we getting there? About 90 FPS. That should get rid of it. Could it be... No, not tree tessellation. Yeah, it's gone now. Only really gives me about 5 to 10 FPS there. Doesn't give me much, does it? Right, that's going to be it for me, guys. It's been fun. It's been fun chatting about music and stuff. I'll be back on tomorrow. I'm going to try and do two streams tomorrow, like I normally would, because Diablo releases at 12 o'clock tonight. So I'll hopefully get onto some of that tomorrow. Play through it. Get some ranking up going on that. Test out as many cards as I can. Should be pretty good. So I'll aim to be on at like... It'll be around 12, like midday English time, 12 to 1, and then I'll try and go again at like 5 to 8-ish English time. So, yeah, if you're around, drop in, say hi, catch Diablo, see what that's like. But yeah, hope you guys have a good evening. Catch you tomorrow.